And when Allah did send the Messiah, some of them accepted him, but the rabbis rejected him. They said his mother gave birth to him when she was not married. And so he is, وَنَعُوذُ بِاللَّهِ مِنْ هَذَا, a bastard. And a bastard cannot be the Messiah. And then when they sentenced him to death for blasphemy, because he claimed to be the Messiah, the son of Mary, Nabi Isa alayhi salam. And then the Roman government, or the reluctant Roman government, then executed the sentence. And then they saw him die on the cross before their very eyes. They were now absolutely convinced he could not have been the Messiah. Why? Why? He's dead. The golden age never came back. He never ruled the world from holy Israel. Israel is still under Roman occupation. And number two, look at how he died. He died by crucifixion. And our book, the Torah, says that whosoever dies like that is the cursed of the Lord. There's a curse upon him. So they're now convinced beyond any shadow of a doubt he could not have been the promised Messiah. So they're waiting for the Messiah to come. What they did not know, and no one knew. For some 600 years, no one knew, until the Quran came down. Was it no, they did not succeed in killing him? No, they did not succeed in crucifying him. Allah made it appear that he was crucified. How did Allah make it appear that he was crucified? Now kindly listen carefully. Not only those of you who are here in this Malaysian Airlines auditorium, but those outside who will be listening to this lecture on the internet. Allah says, وَلَكِنْ شُبِّهَ لَهُمْ. Allah made it appear like that. For some mysterious reason, sometimes located in a book that was spirited out of the Vatican 100 years ago, called the Gospel of Barnabas. Anything that comes out of the Vatican, I would take it with a pinch of salt. Put a little vinegar with it as well. They hold this mysterious view that Allah, وَنَعُوذُ بِاللَّهِ مِنْ هَذَا, caused someone else to assume the appearance of Jesus, Nabi Isa alayhi salam. And that innocent man, who never claimed to be the Messiah, and it is irrelevant for you to come with some red herring or some cock and bull story that he did something else for which the punishment was death. That's rubbish. Take it and put it in the garbage bin. I don't want to hear it. That innocent man who never claimed to be the Messiah was crucified for claiming to be the Messiah. That's an act of injustice. And Allah is not an unjust God. And so this theory of substitution must be rejected by all right-thinking and clear-thinking people. And we want to reject it one more time, unqualified rejection of this nonsense, this act of injustice on the part of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to cause an innocent man, innocent of ever having claimed to be the Messiah, to assume the appearance of the Messiah and then to be crucified. That is nonsense, it is rubbish, and it is an act of injustice, and those who hold this view will have to answer to Allah for it one day. I have to use this very strong language because there are those who have eyes and yet do not see. And they're heading straight into the fire with this, and they will not listen. Having disposed of this nonsense, the theory of substitution, well then what happened? What happened? Does the Quran not say that it was sent to explain all things? That it is tibyanan likulli shay in Surah An-Nahl. It explains all things, so it must explain what happened. How did Allah make it appear that Nabi Isa alayhi salam was crucified when he was not? The answer is there in the Quran. In Surah Ali Imran, the 3rd surah of the Quran, and again in Surah Al-Ma'idah, the 5th surah of the Quran, Allah uses the word wafat. Wafat in this context, means taking the soul. Governments don't take your soul. The World Bank can't take your soul. Only an angel can take your soul. Won't you agree with me? Only an angel. And Allah instructs the angel to take your soul. So, in this context, the implication is that Allah took the soul of Nabi Isa alayhi salam. Is it possible that he took the soul and returned it? Is that possible? In Surah Al-Zumar of the Quran, Allah explains, and I'm going slowly now because this is so important for Islamic eschatology. This is the pivot of Islamic eschatology. Islamic eschatology revolves around this point. In Surah Al-Zumar of the Quran, Allah says, بَعْدَ أَعُوذُ بِاللَّهِ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ اللَّهُ يَتَوَفَّى الْأَنفُسَ حِينَ مَوْتِهَا. Allah takes the souls at the time of maut. Maut is death. Allah takes the souls at the time of death. وَالَّتِي لَمْ تَمُتْ فِي مَنَامِهَا. And those whose souls are not taken while they are awake, Allah takes the souls while you are asleep. فَيُمْسِكُ الَّتِي قَضَى عَلَيْهَا الْمَوْتِ. He then keeps those souls for whom maut is written. Death is ordained. وَيُرْسِلُ الْأُخْرَى إِلَى أَجَلٍ مُسَمَّى. And for those for whom maut is not yet written, Allah returns the souls. We know from this verse one form, namely sleep, in which Allah does this. He takes your soul and He returns it. This may not be the only one, but this is one. That while you're asleep, He takes your souls. You have to forgive me for repeating and repeating and repeating, because there are some people who simply cannot listen, cannot hear. So kindly forgive me. So while you are sleeping, Allah takes the soul, and if maut is not written for you, if death is not yet ordained for you, He then returns the soul for a specific period of time. In which case, you did not die. No. That's why you are here sitting in this auditorium today. If Allah had kept the soul, you will not be here, you will be underneath the earth. So now it is clear. If Allah took the soul, this is the context in which the word wafat is used in both Surah to Ali Imran and Surah to Ma'idah. This is the context that Allah took the soul. If He took the soul and He did not return it, then Nabi Isa alayhi salam died. He was crucified. But Allah says, no, they did not succeed in crucifying Him. They did not crucify Him. They did not kill Him. And so there's only one possible explanation left. And that is that after Allah took the soul, and they were now convinced that He was dead, and they took down the body. Some Muslims don't want to hear that. No, because they have this fairy tale interpretation of the Quran that no, Jesus, Nabi Isa alayhi salam was never put on the cross. I don't know where they got it from. Maybe the theory of substitution or somewhere else, or maybe in Disneyland. But I part company from them. I part company from this uncritical position. They took the body down because they were convinced He was dead. They prepared the body for burial, which is janazah. And then they put the body in a cave. They sealed the cave. And there was a Roman guard outside. Then Allah returned the soul. So he did not die. So the soul has been returned to the body, not to Chicago. The soul has been returned to the body. So when the soul is returned to the body, you would wake up. You would stand up, wouldn't it? I mean, why is this subject so difficult for some people to understand? So he's now alive. He never died. But if they know he's alive, they're going to come after him again. So then Allah raised him, body and soul, everything. Allah raised him the way He raised Nabi Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam in the Isra and Miraj, the nocturnal journey. Raising in the sense of taking him from this material universe into other worlds of space and time. I have no other English word to use than the word raise. And I'm allowed to use the word raise because in the Quran Allah uses the same word, بَلْ رَفَعَهُ اللَّهُ إِلَيْهِ. Allah raised him unto Himself. Meaning that Nabi Isa alayhi salam, the Prophet Jesus, is no longer in our world of space and time, no longer in our material universe. He has now been transported into another world of space and time, or what the Quran refers to as the samawat. There are 7 of them. And in physics, they're called parallel universes. Every physicist knows about it. Ask Einstein, he'll tell you. Since he never experienced death, no, never experienced maut, no. And since Allah says in the Quran, Kullu nafsin dha'iqatul maut, every soul must taste death, it follows that Nabi Isa alayhi salam must return. Secular scholarship may look upon us with scorn and with disdain and laugh at us for believing what the Prophet said alayhi salatu wasalam, that one day he will return with his hands resting on the wings of 2 angels. But they don't believe in this. They think this is Disneyland. So let them go their way and let us go ours. And don't waste your time with them. But they did not know that. They thought he was dead. And they know that when Allah gives His word, He keeps His word. So they're still waiting for the Messiah, who when He comes will rule the world from the Holy Land, from Jerusalem, with a rule which will be eternal, meaning the end of history.
Don't forget to subscribe for more valuables and interesting videos.